Happy New Year, everybody. Jim from Jim's Coleus. Excuse my voice, been a little under the weather the past week or two. It's perfect for this gray weather, this sort of rainy weather we've been having here in New Jersey, but it's been mild. So I'm thankful for that. I can, near the coast here, it's been hit or miss. We haven't had any snow, which is fine with me, but so excuse the voice. I hope everybody's New Year's been really well. Started off. Happy New Year again to everybody. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting me on eBay, which is perfect timing because I'll be starting my seeds the end of February, mid to late February. Now, years ago, I used to start my seeds much sooner because I used to sell my Coleus at a flea market near the house, and I used to start them and do that flea market in the spring, April, and so forth. So I wanted to actually get my plants going, but it was a little difficult. And the past few years, the flea market is closed down. They're building condos there now. But I've gotten the Bayhead Farmers Market, which starts in June, which is much more convenient and great people. It's right in town here. Which gives me more time to get my Coleus up and running. So, I mean, there was times where I actually started my Coleus around Christmas, tying that in with the holiest of Coleus and so forth and so forth. So I started them as early as Christmas, but there was really there was no advantage to that. I didn't see any difference between starting them around Christmas or mid-January. So I did away with all that. Now, mid to late February. So if you want to start your Coleus seeds, especially those of you who purchase seeds from me on eBay, I had great success this year. I sold at least 200 packs, and I donated a pretty good amount of money over the course of the fall and winter to the different organizations: USO, Wounded Warriors, Paralyzed Veterans, Morris Animal Foundation. Thank you to everybody, because you made that possible. As I made money off of the seeds, I donate a good portion of each purchase to those, and I have those donation drives on my Instagram page. So if you're not on Instagram, try it out. It's a lot of fun. It's easy to interact with you if you have questions or so forth. So look up Jim's Coleus on Instagram, follow along, and of course here on YouTube. So gonna start our seeds mid to late February. So I'm gonna shoot a video right now. What I'm gonna do is help you guys out. If you're new to this, if this is something you want to try, I'm gonna give you a real easy way to start your Coleus. You don't need a green thumb. You don't need to be a plant person. You don't need to be, you don't need to know the chemistry and so forth of the different, the plant foods and all that stuff. That's stuff that you can learn slowly over the years following along here. I touch on all of that. Very simple. Coleus are really easy to grow. And my experience is the hardest part of growing Coleus is getting them started, because it's tricky. It can be tricky if you don't plant the seeds the correct way. I'm going to shoot a video now to give you an idea. These are just suggestions. This is what I use to start my Coleus. You don't have to use my system. You can, and I'll touch on other systems. They're very, very similar. But I like to use a Jiffy Pod System. Of course, if you've been following along, you know this. But I'm going to show you what I have, how I set up my indoor greenhouse, what type of greenhouse I have. If you don't have one and you're looking to do that, get yourself your own greenhouse. And it's not a big monstrosity. At the end of this video, you're going to have a good idea on how easy and fun, and I think you'll get motivated to start your own Coleus. And you don't have to grow 500 Coleus like I do. If you want to grow 25 or 50, it's so simple, especially with the Jiffy Pod System, and inexpensive. And again, if you do need some seeds, head over to Jim's Coleus on eBay. I got real success, sold a lot of seeds this year. I'm very, very thankful. and a lot of repeat buyers and a lot of international. I sold some seeds to Germany just recently, Germany, Australia, England. I got quite a few to England, Egypt, Israel, and closer to home, Alaska. And I believe I did send one out about 3 weeks ago to somebody in Hawaii. So we're all over the place, and of course the United States. So thank you to everybody who purchased seeds from me. Follow along here if you're new to this, if you're new to growing Coleus. Check out this video. I'll make it really easy to get yourself started, to make sure you plant your seeds correctly, and what you need to do to get them going. Because once they start, before I lose my voice, once they start going and growing, you're gonna find, like kids, you're gonna have to try to keep up with them. So lots of fun ahead. So let's go inside. We'll take a look at what you need to get started. Any questions, again, you can comment here. Instagram, Facebook is very, very tricky for me. For some reason, my Facebook page, I can't get messages. So I really, Instagram is probably the easiest way. Or you can go, I have an email also, jimsholiestthecoleus@gmail.com. If you have some questions, you can send me a question there, or photographs, or something along a problem you want to talk to me about. You can get me there, jimsholiestthecoleus@gmail.com. So, all right, so let's go inside. I'll show you my system, and you can decide if it's the system for you. And then we'll go into other aspects, other types of ways to start your Coleus. This is it. This is my final 2 packs of seeds. I did such tremendous sales this year on my eBay store, the Jim's Coleus. So those of you following along and purchased seeds from me, thank you very much. Tremendous success. I hope you're happy with the seeds. Stay tuned. Next year I'll be selling them again. I wish I had more to sell in the spring also, which I have a feeling that I would, if I did have more, I would be selling more. But I only have so much time, so it takes a lot of effort to separate the seeds, to pack them, to get them and manage my eBay store. Once I get started here and growing my Coleus, it takes a lot of time. And again, it's just me. So what I do is sell them in the fall and the winter to get everybody, you guys obviously, set up. So now here we are. We're getting towards February when I sell my seeds, and I'm hoping, of course there's people in different areas that maybe don't have a freeze zone that are starting their Coleus already, but again, I start mine at the end of February. So that's it. The last 2 are going. Tremendous success. Lots of money donated to great causes. Wounded Warriors, USO, Mars Animal Foundation, Paralyzed Veterans. So when you made a purchase from me, be sure to just feel comfort that that money is going towards a good cause. Real heroes, good causes. So I thank you for that. And again, even watching my videos, purchasing my plants, if you're local, in Bayhead when I start the farmers market in June, all of that goes towards, so it's an ongoing thing month after month. And I usually do my fund drives on Instagram, so head over to Instagram, follow me there. All right, so my voice, hopefully it'll hold out, but I really wanted to get this video out to you guys. If you're new, welcome aboard. If you're new to plants, if you're one of those people that think that you can't grow plants, you can. Coleus are very easy. You know, I just got a really nice message from a follower in Germany. Rico, shout out to you on Instagram, Rico from Germany. Really humbled me. I got him into Coleus. He found my YouTube channel, and he is going crazy now, growing the most beautiful Coleus. He just sent me a whole bunch of pictures on Instagram, so that's why I like Instagram. So he sent me a whole bunch of photos of his setup, and all his Coleus that he's growing, and they're really beautiful Coleus. And he too, he was the same. He was the type that thought that he can never really grow plants very well, and he was really happy to see how easy and fun Coleus are to grow and how beautiful they are. So he's hooked. He's growing a lot of beautiful Coleus, and I'm very happy and humbled that that I got him going. And keep going, Rico. Thank you for watching, and thanks for the kind words. So, all right, so let's get started. It's a really quick video on the basics. This is the system I use. You don't need to use the Jiffy Pod system. I'm going to elaborate on that. But this is the system I use because of the space. If you're growing just 50 or 100, which still is a lot of Coleus, or even if you're growing 25 or 30, you can use this system. It's just it's relative to the amount of Coleus that you intend on growing. So all right, so let's get in here, get this going, so you guys can start your Coleus. And again, I start mine at the end of February. So you can be sure I'll be posting a video when I do start my Coleus, but I do have some videos. If you search through my long list of videos, I do have some videos from last year and the year before that of when I actually sow my Coleus seeds and how to do it using this Jiffy Pod system. And if you're not using the Jiffy Pod system, the principle's the same way. So, okay, so let's get started here, and you guys can get what you need if you're ready to go. That way you're all set, get your seeds, and stand by, and we'll be growing Coleus shortly. As you know, the three things Coleus need are light, warmth, and moisture. And that's not in any particular order of importance. All three are needed in order to start your Coleus seeds, to keep them growing and developing into beautiful plants like this. So you need light, daylight, or grow lights, warmth from the sun, or baseboard, or heat mats, and moisture from proper watering. So I'm going to show you those three things and the equipment I use to make sure that the Coleus seeds that I'm planting get an abundance of each, but not too much of certain things. I hope that didn't confuse you. As you watch this video, you'll see what I mean. Okay, so again, now this is just a guide. You don't have to have this type of setup. You don't need to have this size of an indoor greenhouse. They come in different sizes depending on how many Coleus you're gonna grow and what you need, and so forth. But again, I grow about 500 Coleus, so this is a very inexpensive indoor greenhouse. I bought this like 8-9 years ago. It was like 40 bucks, $50. It's probably around that. It's maybe a little more money. But it's very simple to put together. Basic plastic over tubes, and has the rack, the little shelves. It's the 5 shelf, and it zips up. You can enclose it, which I do. I'll show you that later. So that's an indoor greenhouse. Ideal spot here. I have the bright bay window with some dirty windows, which I need to clean. Baseboard heat. It's surrounded by baseboard heat, so we got plenty of heat and light. Now again, there are so many different LED or non-LED lights, grow lights available. This is sort of a system I have rigged up here, and this is a full spectrum LED grow light. And what a full spectrum means is it includes all of the spectrums of light required for plants to grow. There's different colors. There's blue, green, yellow, orange, light, and each one does a different. Each one is beneficial for plants at different stages of growth. These full spectrum LED grow lights provide all of the lighting that plants need to thrive. Seeds to thrive, to germinate. Okay, so you have that top LED grow light, and that's just the system I use. You don't have to have it like this. This just works for me. And again, now I have these other type of LED grow lights, which are a little different. They're clamp on. They have the 3 adjustable necks. They're just as safe, the same principle. Very safe, very energy efficient. You can put your hand right up to them. Obviously this one is not on. The one below is, just for purposes of the video. But they're really convenient because you can move them around to where you want and so forth. If you have a tray over here, or if you want a plant that you want to give a little more light to, maybe your Coleus are a little leggy, you can put the LED grow light closer. It's not going to harm the plant, but I don't want to get off to the subject here. But so this is another type of LED grow light. I get these on Amazon. You can get them at the store, most Home Depot, Lowe's, but I like Amazon. Very convenient, and you can get there's a large selection. If you're not really sure, let me know. I can actually send you a link of these exact ones. They may not have this exact one available, but ones that are like it. So if you're not really sure and you do want to get one, just reach out to me and I'll forward you the link. Here's another type. Same principle as this, just a different brand. What I like about these also, later on, I'm not going to get into detail now, but these have a brightness adjustment, and they also have a timer. They have a timer for 3 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours, and that gets important later on when you don't want to keep your grow lights on all day long. And we'll get into that later, but same thing. Very, very convenient, very safe, very energy efficient. No heat. Although some growers would say, well, you know, I want a little more heat on my Coleus and so forth. The grow lights can supplement that as well. That's true, but for my system and in here, I don't need that extra heat. And that's going to move on to my next item, the heat mats. I have 2 of them, and these are not plugged in right now. I use heat mats even in here only for when I first sow my Coleus seeds in my trays, and I'm going to get to the trays in a minute. I only use these heat mats for when I'm sowing my seeds, and I turn them off about a week after I start to see my Coleus germinate. When I start to visibly see seedlings germinate, where I actually see the plants, the seeds germinated, and I see the little cotyledons coming in. And I want to get ahead of myself on jargon and so forth, but when I see my pods germinate, and I'm sure that all of my seeds have germinated and they're on their way, I disconnect and remove the heat mats, because heat mats are great, but if you leave your heat mats on, you can actually cook your germinations and actually kill them or slow them. They'll stunt your germination. So you can use heat mats, especially if you're in an area, maybe you don't have an area that has a heater here, and you want to keep the moisture and warmth. Heat mats are excellent for that. Or if you don't want to put them directly underneath your plant pots or whatever, and it doesn't have to be the trays, and it could be whatever, like this perfect example here. You could have them indirect. You could put them on the bottom, and the heat will fill up this space, especially if you close this window here, you'll get your heat in there. But as far as seed trays that I use, the heat mats can be detrimental if you leave them on well after your plants germinate. They'll actually stunt and stall your growth. So make sure if you do use heat mats, just use them, again, I'm repeating, only use them for a few weeks into your germination, sprouting, and then remove them. All right, so apologize for my voice. Like I said, I'm just getting over being sick. but I wanted to get this video out to you. So just in summary, here's a basic idea. You can apply this to what you have, what area, room you have, and so forth, how many Coleus you have. You can get these indoor greenhouses in different sizes. They have like little mini ones, small ones, the same principle, and apply it. And again, the grow lights, full spectrum grow lights. I actually got this greenhouse on the Amazon, so you can get anything on Amazon, very convenient, and you have a good selection, or if you want to go to the store and get them. But you got your grow lights, heat mats, and indoor greenhouse. This is a great setup if you want to start, not just Coleus, vegetables, plants, any kind of plant. I use it obviously for my Coleus, so apply it to what your needs are. Here is the system that I've used, and I've used a lot of different systems over the years. They sell potting mixture that's for seeds. It's seed starter mix. So I've used seed starter mix with little egg crates. I've used seed starter mix with, one year I bought a whole bunch of styrofoam coffee cups, the small ones. And I started my Coleus on them, in them. And I started using seed starter mix in the egg crates, the smaller egg crates. And then I came across these at a store, and these are the Jiffy Pod System. And I have since been using this because it's so convenient. And for me, for the amount of Coleus that I grow, and my purpose is overall, my end game really, is to grow and create pots. It's the most cost-effective way for me to do that. But mostly, the convenience and the space that this takes up, the footprint, these pods, this system is so easy. I can grow my 500 or more Coleus with just these 3 trays. Each tray, these are 50. So that's 100. And I just filled this one, there's 160. So I have 160 pods. And I overseed the pods, not greatly, but I usually put about 4 to 6 seeds per pod. I try to keep it around 4 a pod, and then I thin them out. So I generally end up with around 500 Coleus ultimately, and then I'm not getting ahead of myself, but I separate them later on, and I have videos on that, and I will be doing videos on that. But this is the Jiffy Pod system that I use. I really recommend it. It's very simple. These are older trays. I've been using them over and over. Next year I may get new ones, but again, it's all cost effectiveness to me. These work. I clean them out, I rinse them out, wash them real fast. I don't use soap or anything, but I do reuse these. And basically it's like a self-enclosed greenhouse. And what you do, again, I'm not going to get too far ahead, but the system is a tray this size. You use 10 cups. The directions are on the Jiffy Pod. As you can see here, this is how you'll see it, either on Amazon or if you get them in the store, Lowe's, Home Depot. 10 cups of warm water. You slowly add the water throughout here. These are like little drain things, very convenient. And these pods actually expand. They're compressed peat, and they expand up to look like this. And then you rip them open, and then you can actually fluff the peat and then plant your Coleus. And again, I'm not going to get too ahead of myself here, but this is a system that I like to use. I highly recommend it, and they come in different sizes. They come in, you could buy a trays of 10, 30, and I believe this is 50. And it really depends on how many you're growing. These are perfect if you're going to be growing tomatoes. Every plant's different, but if you want to grow 10 tomato plants, you can put a tomato seed in each pod, or Coleus seeds have to be planted a certain way and so forth. So you can use these to grow or start any plant, but I use them for Coleus. So once, and again, I'm not going to get too far ahead, but why I like these is once these are expanded and I open them up and I plant my Coleus seeds, I have them all set, ready to go. You put the dome tray on top here, and what that does is it keeps all of the moisture in the pods, creates a beautiful, an ideal ecosystem. And then I will put these trays inside the greenhouse, and the grow light, the warmth from the heat mats, and the moisture from the pods and that dome tray cover, those are the three things that are now ideal, which is why I get 99% germination. I get very, very high germination success rate, and my germinations are very strong. And that leads to strong plants, which is why my Coleus are generally beautiful Coleus. So this is the system that you can use if you like. Or you can use the egg trays, or you can just buy a bag of seed starter mix. And if you have pots and you're just going to grow a handful of Coleus, apply the same principle to whatever medium you use. If you have a pot, if you just want to grow yourself 5 or 6 Coleus and you have pots, drained pots, use your seed starter mix. Pre-moisten the seed starter mix. Plant your Coleus seeds, cover them with saran wrap, and put them near a grow light or in a greenhouse situation, bright light, or by a bright sunny window. But make sure you keep those 3 things that you need going: light, moisture, and warmth, and your Coleus seeds will germinate. Also, what I like about these Jiffy Pods, and what makes this a cost-effective system for me over the years, which is why I try to save these trays, is I order bags of these pods on Amazon. And they come in different diameters also. I don't need the really large diameters. I think these are 35 or 33 millimeters. They come in different diameters and heights and so forth, but these are basic 33 millimeter discs. I buy a bag of 200 for $18 or $20 or something, and I just refill these trays each season, rather than buy the trays, which are like $20 for a tray, and 50 pods and a tray for $20. I have my 3 trays that I keep over the years, and I just replenish the pods each year, or I'll buy 500 pods. I just went through my pack of 500 last year that I bought like 3 years ago. So I just ordered these. And that's another reason why I like this system. It's cost effective for my particular system, for me, for how I grow my Coleus, and my end game, which is selling them at the farmer's market. So I hope this really helps out. It's very, very simple. So get this set up if you're ready to go. If you purchase some seeds from me on Jim's Coleus, thanks again. So get this stuff going. If you want to follow along and you want to use this system, you have plenty of time. Again, I won't be starting my Coleus until the end of February, so I'll be posting a video when I do that. If not, check through my list of videos. I do have years of videos of this system as I use it. So I hope this helps out. Thanks for following Jim's Holiest of Coleus. Stay tuned. We got lots to come.